So you've CNC'd this thing to as exacting a tolerance as possible. A lot of folks were happy to see what I go through to fit a neck. People often say that I make things too difficult. What I have to do today seems like more work. It all comes down to perspective. Preparing an instrument for finish is an art of its own. After precisely milling these surfaces, they're not exactly smooth. Sure, if you work at it, through many iterations, you can get quite a nice surface finish right off the machine. I tend to do this work by hand. I find it to be the often overlooked part of CNC lutherie. Or, as I've been told by this guy, he's obviously not watching this channel regularly. It seems to be a massive secret that the CNC leaves a great deal of work to do by hand. And the folks that know the least about it seem to have more than their fair share of knowledge on the subject. These days, I try to be careful about describing things I'm not a master of, and that's a very long list. Not that I don't try to make it shorter every day. The truth of the matter is, you will be doing a lot of handwork if you want to be a luthier, and if I may be so bold as to use the term so loosely. As luck would have it, I received this detail sander to review. It can get into many of the tight spots, but at some point, we'll be down to the old standby, elbow grease, to get into all these features. I'm talking about prepping for finish, but I don't have to go quite that far on this one. I make unfinished parts for other makers to assemble, set up, and finish. And to me, if you're willing to take my point of view for just a bit, folks doing the finish work, assembly, and setup, yep, they're luthiers too. At least in my so-called loose interpretation of the term. I do my best to stay positive. There's traps out there around us everywhere. Pitfalls that we walk directly into voluntarily. We're literally building walls made from the bricks we choose ourselves to build spaces that we don't enjoy. When you post content on social media, you're exposed to many viewpoints. And for the most part, this is a great thing. Yeah, I get some of the same comments repeatedly. And within each of them, there's some element that I can apply. Whether I want to or not is the real issue. I'm doing my best to attempt to listen to these comments and drill down into the marrow of what they're saying. Try to get into their minds and try out their ideas and see where they go. This is the real trick, to honestly attempt something that you don't necessarily agree with. I've found that there is at the very least some small nugget of value in every attempt. To get back to the bricks of this paragraph, I just wanted to point one thing out. If you don't like something on social media, just move along. Nothing to see here. These aren't the droids you're looking for. When you post a less than outward comment, you smash that chuckling emoji sarcastically, or just the old thumbs down, you're setting yourself up for something you may not intend. The algorithms that drive these things are not attempting to make you happy. Remember, this is a business. They want you engaged, not content. When you make one of these comments, the algorithm doesn't read your comment, parse its intent, quantify your sarcasm, and say, hey, this guy doesn't like this kind of content. It does exactly the opposite. And when you come back over and over again to reply, you only collect more fuel for the fire. So next time you start tappity-tapping out one of them messages, chest puffed out, superiority complex fully engaged, take a moment to think about it. You might be doing yourself more harm than good, unless that is being an angry guy is your thing. And for many of us, it is. And in a way, that has its own merits.
Thank you.
I'm going to keep putting this thingamadoo through its paces, but it's a great deal. There's a link in the description if anyone wants to try it out. Even the lowest setting on my other DeWalt sander is a bit more than I want to be dealing with for an extended period. This one is quite comfortable. The lower power is probably a good thing. It makes it easier to control. It seems to get the work I need to do accomplished easily, and the pointed tip is very handy for getting into tight corners. The built-in pad does a good job of keeping the flat areas flat and conforming to other shapes. This could be just the ticket if you're in the market for a light-duty sander. In the future, I'll have some upgrades and some better advice on how it holds up over time. Until then, as always, I look forward to your comments and questions, and thanks for watching.